Thank you for joining us today. My name is Yinka Latinjiojo, and I'm the user support scientist based in Oakland, California. And today I'll be going over licensing and tools that you get with campus license, your CSD-Enterprise license, what sort of product and services that covers, and how to access resources for you to be able to use the CCDC tools. So a bit of licensing changes. We did replace our previous license at the end of November of 2019. So November 2019, we've instituted this new licensing system. It's compatible with any version of our software starting from 2020 and beyond. So some of the benefits of this changes is that your licenses are no longer tied to a calendar year. So if it's easier for you to start your licenses in March, going on to February of the following year, you do have that flexibility. And you can also purchase your license for multiple years. So if you want to have a 3-year license or more than that, that is an option that is available to you when you want to renew your license. Unlike in previous years, your license information will no longer be sent to you because it no longer changes every year. So once you obtain your license for the first time, you will get that license and information, but subsequent renewal, we will no longer send out that license information. But you're always welcome to reach out to us at support or admin if you need that information. Something else that has occurred with this change in licensing is that users will not need to reactivate their software every year. As long as you have renewed your license before it expires, the renewal and update on the customer end is seamless. They will not have to reactivate. Now, there was a small bug in the system and reactivation was needed for this year, but we have worked on that issue. And moving forward, you will not need to reactivate your license. However, the main CSD release at the end of the year will require a full download and uninstall of the previous system. But since the license will work with any version of the software starting for 2020, you can wait a bit to upgrade or update your system. Whatever 2020 version you have will continue to work as long as your license has been renewed. For the customer end, it is still easy to set up. During the individual installation, they will be asked to enter their activation key, which is a 36-digit key. And they also have an option to activate the license after installation. So that is pretty seamless also. Again, there is no need for the individual user to even know that there's any changes because they don't have to reactivate every year. There is an option to activate and run the software offline. So if you have a machine that is not connected to the internet, you can request an offline activation from us, and I can show how that happens in the next slide. We also have introduced an option for you to run your own license server. So if you have a campus-wide license, then you can set up a local license server and each user can point their machine to the license server, and this is very easy for the user to use because they don't have to concern themselves with activation. The only management of licenses will be the license server, not on the individual machines. And you can also configure licensing with our software activation tool and can be configured for every user on the machine or every user in a group. So as I mentioned, the installation and use on individual machine should be pretty easy. During the installation, you'll be asked to enter your activation key, and there's an option to activate for any user that is using that machine, and you can just activate for the user who's conducting the installation. If the user will prefer to activate after installation, then there's a software activation tool that is typically located in this folder. And so they can activate online, entering their activation key. They can generate an offline request by clicking on Activate Offline. And again, the instructions for how to create this request and send it to us is available here. And if you want to use the license server instead, you can use the configure local server option here. And again, all of this should be pretty easy, but we'll be happy to help you out at support. The current release of the software is 2020.3, and yes, that is the 2021 version of the software. If you would like to request download links for the software, those can be requested from our website under the Support and Resources tab. There's a CSCS downloads. It does require an email address, customer number, and activation key. The customer number and activation key should be provided to the site contact. And if you are the site contact and do not have this information, please reach out to us and we'll provide that for you. Another option that you have is instead of each user at a site to request the download, you as a site contact can download the installer and place it on a shared drive or somewhere where all the users can have access to. And we do support that setup. So if you want to instead download and store the installer locally, you can do that also. So a bit more information on your license types. You can have a researcher license, which is available for 2 seats. There is a group license, which is 6 seats, and then campus license, which grants like unlimited licenses. And each license that we provide to academics is a CSD-Enterprise. And as I mentioned previously, once you obtain your license for the first time, you get a customer ID or site ID. It is the same number. And you have the 36-digit activation key, and these numbers will not change. And it will be emailed to the site contact upon your first purchase, but subsequently it will not be emailed, so reach out to us if you do need that information. So a bit more on what your license covers. First off, we have CSD Core, and this includes the main database itself, CSD, and some of our other tools. So we have Mercury and Hermes, which are our visualization tools. We've got Conquest and WebCSD, which gives you an option to search the CSD both on your desktop and from a web browser. We've got Mogul for geometry interactions. And if you are comfortable using a Python API, you can basically carry out a lot of the same processes, but from a command line. And My Structures is our option for people to be able to manage their structures. You can use it to create your own in-house database and just keep track of all your structures. You don't have to submit it publicly to the database. You can have it uploaded and just have a better way of maintaining your own database. And then we have CSD Discovery, which some of the main tools that is added on top of CSD Core is Gold, which is our ligand docking software, CrossMiner, which is our pharmacophore-based searching tool. Next up, we have CSD Materials, and this includes Dash and more functionality for the API in Mercury. So all of this is CSD Enterprise, and all of this is available to you with your license. We also have some professional services. We do have research partnership. We have PhD studentships available. And we also have some free tools under the CSC community. And again, these are freely available on our website. And we have the educational teaching database, which I'm going to talk a bit about, and CellCheck CSD. So now that you have your license, you know what your license covers. How do you go about getting training on these tools? So first off, almost all of our tools, you can access the user guide from the software. So for example, this is Conquest, and under Conquest, if you go to help and tutorials, you have options for quick tutorials for how to perform certain functions in Conquest. Same as Mercury, if you click help and tutorials, you will see some tutorial options here. And in Mogul, help and help using Mogul would lead you to the user guide and the tutorial section of Mogul. Next up, we have a documentation portal on our website. So if you go to our website under support and resources, if you click on documentation and resources, you would see this portal, and you can select by resource type. So if you wanted a how-to video, user guide, release notes, you can also filter by category. So if you're interested in what documents we have about medicinal chemistry, you can find that under category. Or you could search by the product itself. So if you were looking for what materials we had for Mercury, for Gold, for CrossMiner, you can select that here and then click search, and you see what materials we have available for that. Next up, we have a main training and educational resources section, which can be found under our community tab and training and educational resources. First off, on this page, you can sign up for our education and outreach newsletter. So we do send this out every couple of months, and you can keep up to date on what trainings and what we have coming up from the education and resources team. First off, on this training and educational resources page, we have some materials that is good for educators, useful for educators. So we have the teaching subset, we have some modules, and we have decor, and I'll expand a bit on that. So for teaching structural data, we have this teaching database, which is a subset of the CSD. And what's in the teaching database are structures that are useful for teaching certain chemical and structural chemistry concepts. And these is available from our website to download. And all the ref codes are in a CSV. You can look through that. And you can also search on WebCSD specifically for the teaching database. We also have a collection of teaching modules that range from high school level all the way to university level. So these are modules that we have created that can assist with teaching certain concepts in your classroom. And finally, we have Decor. And Decor is the database of educational crystallographic online resources. This was a project that was started by Mag Zadia at Temple University and has been donated to the CCDC. We started hosting and have been curating the database since last year. It's a collection of crystallography lectures from different authors that are free to use by other educators. We do have information on how to credit which author has donated the resource. If you would like to contribute or you know anyone who has materials that would be good for the community to have, they can get in touch with us at hello@ccdc, and we're happy to include whatever resource they have. For the database itself, you can access it either by resource type. So if you're looking for instructional videos, slides, educational software. And then we also have the resources arranged by topic. And so if you're looking for resources that we have over structure factor disorder or crystal lattices, you can click on any of this and it will show you all the resources we have for that. So this is very useful for educators, and we've actually gotten feedback on that. And we also have received more donations to this resource. Next up, if you want to get some training on CCDC software, we do have a series of self-guided workshop materials and training and how-to videos. So if you click on the download a series of self-guided workshop section, you will be brought to a page where we have all of our self-guided workshop materials arranged by the type, so CSD community, or if it's CSD core, CSD materials, or CSD discovery. And if you click on, for example, CSD core, you'll see what materials that we have available. We do ask for feedback as we continue to upgrade and improve on our materials. So when people use this, we do encourage for them to provide feedback for us. And there's a feedback link from this page, and also for each individual workshop, there's a feedback link. We have also been increasing the number of training and support videos we have. So we do have a YouTube and a LabTube channel. Our videos range from how to do certain things in a software, all the way to recordings from our user group meetings and some of the virtual trainings that we have put on. So again, you can access this from our training and educational resources portal, and you will see all the videos. We have at least 90 videos available. And with that, I would like to thank you. If you have any licensing questions, please reach out to us at support@ccdc or admin@ccdc. And if you have any questions about education and outreach, or want to deposit some resources to Decor, please reach out to us at hello@ccdc. And thank you for your attention.